Hi everyone, Allison Davis here with a layout that I created using the December kits and a sketch that I also created to go with these kits. So the day I got my kits, I opened up the box and the second I laid eyes on these hexagon nested dies, my wheels started spinning and I immediately sat down with my laptop and started creating this sketch. It's such a fun feeling when you immediately find inspiration in something and are practically bursting at the seams to create. The sketch is made up of hexagons in a variety of sizes. The main design has hexagon frames, and then there are lots of smaller accent hexagons to fill out the arrangement. I have always loved hexagons, so this sketch is one I could see myself using over and over again. And I feel like it would be a lot of fun to use this sketch design with other shapes like circles, hearts, stars, maybe even triangles. If you want to grab this sketch, be sure to head over to the Hip Kit Club website to download it, and I'll link to it down below so you can find it. While the hexagon dies ended up being kind of the star of the show, so many products from the kits made an appearance in the creation of my layout. So here's what I used to complete the layout I'm going to show you. From the main kit, I used several of the pattern papers, the gold puffy alphabet stickers, the foam shapes, the cardstock die cuts, and the clear epoxy stickers. I used all of the papers in the cardstock kit. I super love these cardstock papers. I also used the chipboard frames and the puffy shapes from the Embellishments Kit, and I used some of the papers from the Project Life 6x8 inch paper pack. And of course, we can't forget the fun hexagon stitchable nested dies. As you can see, these products are absolutely gorgeous, and this isn't even close to what all they have to offer. If you are interested in subscribing to Hip Kit Club kits, there are some great perks. Once you subscribe, you get a 15% discount on all add-on kit purchases. You get free shipping for add-on kits that are shipped along with your main kit. You also get free cut file downloads, and let me tell you, these cut files are amazing. I highly recommend you go check out all of the HKC kits. And if you want to subscribe, I have a link and discount code that you can use for 10% off. And trust me, you will love everything HKC has. So let's go ahead and jump into the process video for my layout. To start, I am using a white 12x12 inch sheet from the Cardstock Kit. And I love that one side of the paper has a subtle pattern on it, and then the back side has a coordinating pattern with a white base. I start off by cutting out the hexagon frames with the dies. These dies can work alone to create a hexagon, or you can use two together to create a hexagon frame. After I had all of the frames cut, I start on the stitching part. And the fact that these dies are hexagon and have holes for stitching, it feels like they were made just for me. Two of my favorite things coming together in perfect harmony. I'm going to use all 6 strands of embroidery floss, and I'm going to do something I haven't with stitching, and that is a double stitch. I am using a back stitch, but I'm doing it twice. Since the holes are a little bigger than they would be if I had pierced them with my piercing tool, I really want to capitalize on the opportunity to have bigger stitching as well. The texture and dimension of stitching is one of the many reasons I'm drawn to it, so getting double of that is really exciting for me. I always love stitching projects that come together one color at a time. It's always so very satisfying to see each color finished. With all of the stitching done, now I can start adhering the hexagon frames onto my layout. I'm going to use foam adhesive for all of them. I am practically addicted to foam adhesive, so I tend to use a lot of it on my layouts. For the first hexagon, the largest one, I'm going to use the placement directions on the sketch and adhere it according to those. My OmniGrid ruler makes it so easy to get accurate measurements and placements, so this was really, really easy. The next two hexagon frames I'm going to add overlap onto the larger one, so I have to be a little strategic about the placement of the foam adhesive and make sure that I don't have any on the parts that overlap that larger hexagon. If I did, it would be all lumpy and kind of sit funny. The next two are not overlapped, so they are super easy to add. After I have the first one adhered, I want to make sure that the second one at the bottom has the same margin as the first one to the edge of the layout. I am a stickler for those kind of details. Margins are always a great way to maintain balance on a layout. And that's the former yearbook student in my brain that forces me to look at things that way. I've got one more hexagon frame to add, and it's the smallest one that will be overlapped as well. And for this one, I'm using 2 layers of foam adhesive. For my photos, I had 2 of them, and I used one of the hexagon dies in a template to trace around those photos, and then I cut them out with scissors. Then I added them to a pattern paper hexagon for a mat. Both of these photos are added to the center of 2 of the largest hexagon frames. And then I'm also adding a hexagon cut out of pattern paper to the center of the yellow hexagon frame. That's where my journaling will go later. Now I can get into adding some accent pieces. I've got 2 more hexagons that have stitching through them and some pattern paper ones that will go into the center of the blue hexagon frames. And of course, I am using foam adhesive for all of these. Naturally, I loved this hexagon pattern paper, so I'm going to cut out a few of those to use as well. I love this darker pink color, and I feel like it really matches my shirt that I'm wearing in the photos really well. So I'm cutting out that one, and then a yellow one with a snowflake on it. And both of these are added to the hexagon design with foam adhesive. Next, I'm going to add my title. I am using the Holiday Fun foam sticker, and I love that it comes on clear backing so I can lay it on top of my project and get a little preview to make sure I like the fit before I adhere it down. I'm also going to add New Year with the gold puffy alphabet stickers right above that foam sticker, and I love the metallic glow on these letters. I was instantly in love with these chipboard hexagons and decided I wanted to use a few of them on this layout. And a little side note, this package of hexagons would work great with this sketch as well. I'm also adding some tiny hexagons all around the outer edges of the design. And of course, I'm using foam adhesive for those as well. I think it's safe to assume that almost everything has foam adhesive at this point. So anytime I'm creating a large cluster of elements like this, I always like adding in some tiny details to finish it out. I want to add a few finishing touches, so I'm going to add some gold hearts from those puffy alphabet stickers, and then this super awesome champagne glass. It's an epoxy sticker, and part of it's clear. It's amazing. It's such a cute detail for a New Year's Eve layout. Now with the gold hearts, I added one by my title and then a few on some of the smaller hexagons. To the pink hexagon, I'm going to add 24 for the year that we were celebrating. And then I also add some of the circle puffy stickers. They are such a fun accent, and I love their puffy texture. In fact, I loved them so much, I decided to add them all over the layout, kind of mixing in with those tiny hexagons. And that completes my layout. This was such a fun design to make, especially with all of the amazing products that Hip Kit Club creates. I hope you enjoyed watching it come together, and remember to go grab that free sketch and check out my affiliate link below for 10% off. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.